We're starting with 294 grams of gold-plated pins. I've already weighed them out, and now I'm transferring them into the flask and covering them with water. Nitric acid is going in now. The goal is to dissolve away the base metals so we can isolate the gold. The nitric acid attacks the base metals and strips the gold foils free. Notice the color? This change tells us copper is going into solution, which is exactly what we want at this stage. When the acid is spent, it is decanted through a fine sieve to catch any loose gold foils. Fresh acid is added, and the reaction is continued until the full dissolution of the base metals. The substrate has fully dissolved. The foils are collected in a beaker, and now I'm adding sodium hydroxide flakes to the beaker. This converts the metastannic acid into sodium stannate, which dissolves in the excess alkaline solution, and that clears it away from the gold foils cleanly. Adding concentrated hydrochloric acid. It was at this point I realized I've made a mistake. I should have decanted the dark brown sodium stannate solution and rinsed the foils before proceeding to the hydrochloric acid wash. The hydrochloric acid reacted with the leftover nitrates, creating a weak aqua regia. As a result, the foils started to dissolve. Consequently, the decision was made to allow the foils to dissolve fully into the solution. I heated the solution until all NOx fumes had been expelled. With the oxidizer now gone, I'm adding copper wire to the filtered de-noxed solution to cement the dissolved gold out. Copper is less noble than gold, so it displaces it from solution and the gold drops out as a powder. The solution is turning very dark brown. That's the copper loading up into the chloride solution as it gives up electrons to the gold. The cement is forming on the bottom. Now I'm rinsing the cement and passing it through the fritted glass filter. Then aqua regia goes back in directly onto the residue in the filter to redissolve the gold cleanly. Adding sulfamic acid now to de-nox the solution. This breaks down the residual nitric acid. That has to be done before precipitation, otherwise the nitric acid will just redissolve the gold as fast as it drops out. Now I'm adding SMB, sodium metabisulfite, to selectively precipitate the gold. You can see the powder forming immediately and dropping to the bottom. I'll leave it to settle fully until the solution on top runs clear. A clear barren solution tells you the gold is fully out of solution. The gold powder has now settled at the bottom of the beaker. After rinsing the gold powder, I passed the rinse water through filter paper. The gold powder to catch and the filter paper that might carry over. Both go into the melting dish together. I'll char the paper carefully first before bringing up the heat, then use the oxypropane torch to melt everything down into a button. There's the button cooling down. Once it's solid, I'll weigh it. This run came out at 0.61 grams of high purity gold from the 294 grams of plated pins we started with.